You are standing by a floor-to-ceiling window on the 40th floor of a skyscraper in Shinjuku. The city of Tokyo stretches out below you, an infinite ocean of neon and concrete. You are wearing a bespoke suit that costs more than what an average salaryman earns in a year. Your watch is a subtle masterpiece of Swiss engineering. To the executives who shake your hand, to the bankers who approve your massive corporate loans, and to the politicians who quietly accept your campaign contributions, you are a visionary. You are the chief operating officer of a sprawling real estate holding company. You speak flawless English. You understand global markets. You project absolute, unshakable control. But your true resume is not printed on paper. It is carved into your skin. Beneath the Italian silk of your shirt, a dragon descends through clouds and waves, stretching across your back, your shoulders, and your ribs. It took 3 years and hundreds of hours of agonizing, hand-poked needlework to finish. You never made a sound during those sessions, because silence is the first currency you learn to spend in this world. The tattoo is not art. It is a barcode. It is a permanent declaration that you do not belong to yourself. You belong to the syndicate. You are the Wakagashira, the right hand of the Oyabun, the supreme leader of one of the most methodical and feared organizations in all of Japan. You did not inherit this position. You survived your way into it. You started at 16, washing the black sedans until they looked like mirrors, standing outside heavy wooden doors in the freezing rain while the senior members drank warm sake inside. You proved yourself not through chaotic violence, but through cold, flawless efficiency. When the organization needed to evolve from street-level operations into high-level financial architecture, you built the bridge. You took the cash from the pachinko parlors and the underground operations, and you washed it through construction firms, shell companies, and overseas investments. You made the money invisible. You made the boss untouchable. You became the brain of the machine. But every machine has a structural flaw, a single point of failure that can bring the entire architecture crashing down. Yours is a 22-year-old university student, your younger brother Kenji. Since the day you took your oath, your only personal mission was to keep Kenji entirely separate from your reality. You paid for his elite education using funds that had been cleaned 3 times over. You bought him an apartment in a quiet district. You built an invisible wall of glass between his normal, brightly lit life and your shadowy existence. You wanted him to be a doctor, an engineer, a civilian. You wanted him to be everything you could never be. But proximity to power is a slow-acting poison, even if you never touch it directly. Kenji knew you were important. He knew you had connections. And in his youthful arrogance, he believed your shadow made him bulletproof. He started hanging around the wrong clubs in Roppongi. He started running up debts. And then, he made the ultimate miscalculation. Kenji tried to play the game. He intercepted a highly sensitive logistical route. He thought he could redirect a shipment of high-value merchandise belonging to the syndicate, sell it to an independent crew, and cover his debts before anyone noticed. He was playing checkers on a board where grandmasters play chess. His operation was sloppy. The merchandise was lost. The money vanished. And the digital trail he left behind was so obvious it felt like an insult to the organization's intelligence. He didn't steal from a rival. He stole from the very machine that feeds you. Your encrypted phone vibrates in your pocket. It is a single, continuous pulse. You recognize the pattern immediately. It is a direct summons from the chairman's inner circle. You cancel your afternoon board meeting. You walk to your private elevator. The descent to the ground floor takes exactly 45 seconds, but it feels like you are dropping into an endless abyss. Your driver is waiting. The drive to the traditional tea house in the Gion district is done in absolute silence. You calculate the variables. You process the math of the underworld. The equation has no margin for error, and the outcome is already written. You step out of the car. You remove your shoes at the entrance. You walk down the wooden corridor, your socks sliding silently over the polished floor. The sliding paper door opens. The Oyabun is sitting on a tatami mat. He is 70 years old, wearing a simple gray kimono. He is pouring tea with a slow, deliberate precision. He does not look up when you enter. He does not offer you a cup. You kneel before him, folding your body into the formal posture of absolute submission. A house only stands when the foundation is clean, the old man says. His voice is barely above a whisper, yet it carries the weight of a physical blow. He slides a manila envelope across the low wooden table. It stops exactly 2 inches from your knees. You do not need to open it. You already know what it contains. Surveillance photos of Kenji. Bank records. Proof of the missing merchandise. The old man is not asking you for an explanation. He is not asking you to apologize. In this organization, apologies are useless. He is giving you a final directive. I trust you to clean your own house, the boss says, finally looking into your eyes. His gaze is as empty as a dry well. Handle it by midnight, or I will send the cleaners to handle it for you. You bow until your forehead touches the woven straw of the mat. You thank him for his wisdom. You back out of the room. When the paper door slides shut, the oxygen finally returns to your lungs, but it tastes like ash. You have 10 hours. 10 hours to organize the permanent disappearance of your own blood, or 10 hours to sign your own death warrant. If the chairman sends his own team, they will not just eliminate Kenji, they will eliminate you for failing to do your duty. The loyalty to the organization must supersede the loyalty to the bloodline. That is the oath. You get into the back of your car. The leather seat feels like a waiting room for the end of the world. You look at your hands. The same hands that signed multi-million-dollar contracts this morning are now expected to arrange a funeral for a boy you taught how to ride a bicycle. The corporate executive vanishes. The survival instinct takes the wheel. You will not give the order. You choose the unthinkable. You choose betrayal. But how do you outsmart an organization that has eyes on every street corner, informants in every police precinct, and an accounting department that tracks every single yen? You do it the only way you know how. Through the numbers. You return to your high-rise office. You lock the heavy mahogany door. You open your secure terminal, the one that connects directly to the syndicate's emergency offshore reserves. You know the routing protocols because you designed them. You initiate a rapid sequence of transfers. You fragment $10 million into 40 different shell accounts in Cyprus and Malta, then run them through a decentralized cryptocurrency mixer. You are not just stealing from the Yakuza. You are blinding them. You are draining their operational liquidity to buy yourself a head start. It takes you exactly 42 minutes. The digital trail is encrypted, but you know, they're technicians. They are brilliant. They will find the anomaly in the ledger. You estimate you have 3 hours before the alarms go off. You leave your office, abandoning the bespoke suit jacket on your chair. You take the service elevator. You acquire a sterile vehicle from a long-term parking garage. You drive to Kenji's apartment. You do not knock. You pick the lock. Kenji is sitting on his sofa, staring blankly at a television that is turned off. He is pale. He is shaking. He knows what he did. He knows the timeline has run out. When he sees you, he expects you to be the executioner. He drops to his knees. He starts to cry. You pull him up by his collar. Your face is a mask of stone. You have exactly 2 minutes, you tell him. Pack one bag. No phones. No electronics. If you hesitate, you will not see tomorrow. You drag him down the back stairwell. The drive to the commercial port of Yokohama is a masterclass in paranoia. Every pair of headlights in the rearview mirror feels like a tactical strike team. Every red light feels like an ambush waiting to spring. You do not speak to him. He does not dare speak to you. The silence between you is heavy with the weight of the life you are throwing away to save his. At the docks, you meet a contact. A Russian logistics broker who owes you a favor that predates your current title. You hand him a duffel bag containing $200,000 in clean cash. In exchange, he hands you a forged Philippine passport and points toward a rusted cargo freighter scheduled to depart for Manila in 20 minutes. You turn to Kenji. You hand him the passport and a ledger containing access codes to a numbered account. You do not exist anymore, you say, your voice perfectly flat. You are never coming back to Japan. You will never contact our mother. You will never contact me. If you look back, they will find you. And if they find you, everything I am about to lose will be for nothing. Kenji tries to hug you. You step back. There is no room for sentimentality. Affection is a liability you can no longer afford. You watch him walk up the gangway. You watch the rusted hull of the freighter pull away from the dock, dissolving into the thick fog of Tokyo Bay. You did it. You saved him. But as the ship disappears, the adrenaline crashes, and the absolute horror of your new reality settles into your bones like ice. Your phone vibrates. The encrypted line, it is not the chairman. It is the head of the internal audit. Division. The money has been noticed. The missing brother has been registered. The betrayal is now a documented fact. You drop the phone into the dark water of the harbor. You walk back to your car, but you do not get in. The car is likely already tracked. You walk into the neon-soaked streets of the city you used to own, the city that has just become your permanent hunting ground. There is no Hollywood shootout. There is no glorious final stand. That is not how the syndicate operates. They operate through slow, suffocating exclusion. You are now a ghost. The millions you washed, the empires you built, the power you projected, none of it belongs to you anymore. You cannot use a credit card. You cannot rent an apartment under your real name. You cannot step into a public bathhouse because the dragon on your back will instantly identify you as a dead man walking. You traded a penthouse in Shinjuku for a life of looking over your shoulder in cheap, windowless motels. Every man in a dark suit is a potential threat. Every sudden noise is the end. You beat the system, but the prize for beating the system is an eternity of paranoia. You pull your collar up against the cold wind. You blend into the crowd, just another shadow in a city of millions, waiting for the day when one of the shadows decides to follow you home.